welcome back to World Rhythm 101, Lesson 10. Here we go, all about the cajon. Boy, this instrument sure has taken off in popularity over the past several years. It's easy to understand why. It's pretty portable, it's easy, got a wide range of tones on this one instrument, and take a look. You can see many of the manifestations of this cajon, sort of effects boxes that can be mounted. We've got sort of congas that are square. We've got even Cuban cajon styles, bata, tube cajons, all types of different shapes, sizes, different sounds, all made of wood. The instrument that we're going to be focusing on, though, is the box cajon, the one that you sit on. So, are you ready? Let's take a look at a little bit of the history of the cajon. So let's take a look at some of the history of this instrument, the cajon. That word cajon is derivative from the Spanish word caja, which means box. Now, of course, if you see bata cajons or Cuban cajons or conga cajons, djembe cajons, bongo cajons, all of those are made of wood, but the instrument that we're talking about is this box instrument, the cajon. Now, the cajon hails from the country of Peru, where many years ago the slaves that were being brought in from West Africa, they were, one of their jobs was to haul boxes off of ships that were arriving from the old world into the new world. A cargo box made of wood about this size would have been absolutely perfect for hauling candles or perhaps salt cod or other small provisions. So, at the end of the day, when the cargo perhaps had been taken out of these boxes and the dock was loaded and littered with boxes about this shape, of course they turned into instruments by the slaves. The original cajon did not have any snares in it like you often hear today, and today Peruvian cajons still are without the snares. The snares came about in the late 1970s when the great flamenco guitarist Paco de Lucia was traveling in Peru. He was gifted a cajon. He gave it, of course, to his percussionist, and the rest, they say, is history. They put snares into it to make it sound like sort of the strumming of the guitar, and the flamenco cajon was born. Today you're going to see this instrument in a lot of different settings, and so there you go, a little bit of the history of cajon. Ready to start playing? Let's do it. All right, let's talk about playing the cajon. The first thing you want to do is make sure that you're seated properly, nice and good posture with your feet flat on the ground. And then to get your hands in the position to play the cajon, rather than bending over, we just want to lean over a little bit, keeping our back nice and straight. This is going to put our hands in the position that we need to actually play the cajon. Now, when we're playing the bass notes, which of course are going to be achieved by getting into the center of the drum, make sure that you don't feel the need to get all the way down. As long as your hand is surrounded by wood, you're going to get a good bass tone, so you don't need to lean in quite so much. One of the things I like about being able to sit on the cajon is the use of pedals. So for some of the segments, you'll actually hear me play this block to keep time, and that's a really good advantage as well. You can put ankle bracelets or shakers or rattles on your feet while you play. If you check out some videos online, you'll see some of the Peruvian players leaning the cajon back so they can put it close to where their hands can reach. That's certainly an option. My only caution about that is that if you do it, other people that are in your clinic or kids will emulate that, and I've seen kids easily fall off of these things, so we want to try to keep them safe. There are other cajons also, by the way, that do have a surface that leans flat out. You might want to take a look at those as well. So the basic strokes on the cajon are the bass and the slap. We're not going to be using any tones for our purpose right now. So we're going to be using Baba's language, gun, dun, and pa, ta. We're going to zoom in and let's take a look at what those look like. So again, putting our dominant hand into the drum just so that it's surrounded by wood and bouncing off, we're going to get a nice bass tone, and we'll go ahead and call the dominant hand gun and the non-dominant hand dun. If I take that hand and slide it back, we're going to be using that slap number 1 with our fingers loose, with this part of the hand coming up against the edge of the drum, right here, right along the corner, so that my fingers are all on the drum, but again, bouncing off with loose fingers with the emphasis on the finger pads. We're going to call this a pa with the dominant hand, and a ta with the non-dominant hand. You'll notice that I am allowing my hand to sort of rest or bump up against that drum. And the hand can stay in position while the fingers bounce.